he said. I said, that's good. You know, not all of us in this room may hail from the same side of the political aisle, but I do believe that every one of us could agree that we're pretty much kindred spirits when it comes to taxes, and my favorite kind of tax, which is the low taxes, right, Kramer? All right. I am very convinced. Bill and I were just talking about sitting here over lunch, the impact that taxes can have on a community, taxes can have on a state, and the impact that keeping a low tax burden and the very positive impact that it has on the state of Texas. According to The Economist, Texas has the second lowest tax burden of all the 50 states in this country. It has been the determining factor in our state's economic strength. As our nation goes through this economic turmoil that it finds itself in, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure this is the most tumultuous time that I've seen our nation's economy in my lifetime. You know, when we think about and talk about where Texas finds itself and the impact that our tax structure has had on creating the climate in this state, I'm reminded of a report that a very renowned economist, Mr. Arthur Laffer, produced last year, where he compared California to Texas. And very clear and compelling impact on those two states due mainly to their tax structures. Now, you know, our nation's overall economic numbers have gone steadily downward since this time last year. But I still believe that Laffer's findings still not only hold true, but they ring true, because the principles of economics still apply. And history doesn't change either. I'll be honest with you, we took a lot of grief in 2003 when we were talking about implementing the way that we tax and spend. Many of you will recall that. Our critics were very vocal, claiming that for us to cut taxes, to limit spending at the level that we were talking about doing, Gaylord, would be devastating to this state. It would spell doom for the state of Texas. Instead, those efforts set us on a path, and it also set the philosophical tone for government spending and government growth in Texas, and it transformed the state. It worked. And it worked because those taxes were based on the premise that the dollars that we were dealing with, the dollars that we appropriated, came from the pockets of our citizens, not from some magical bottomless pot of money or from some rather supercharged money printing machine like they have in Washington. And I think all of you will agree with that. That's the reason that we found ourselves and find ourselves today at this particular, and I think in most people's view, enviable position of the 50 states